Water, the lifeblood of our world, a shimmering blue tapestry that binds every living thing on this planet into a single delicate network of survival. For 4 billion years, it has been the foundation of life, an ancient, pure cycle of evaporation and flow that has sculpted the very face of our Earth. But today, that cycle is under siege. In the silence of our development, we have turned our most vital resource into a vast planetary disposal system. Every day, millions of tons of industrial waste, heavy metals, and untreated sewage flow into our urban arteries, poisoning the flow from within. These are the chemical signatures of our progress, unseen toxins that accumulate in the shadows, triggering ecological collapses that ripple across entire biomes. From dissolved pharmaceuticals to heavy metals like lead and mercury, the enemy is often invisible, hiding in the very clarity of the water we drink. Bioaccumulation turns the food chain into a conveyor belt of poison. The titans of the deep and the smallest organisms alike now carry the burden of our footprint. This is not a localized disaster. It is a global escalation, a silent crisis that knows no borders and respects no boundaries. As we degrade our water, we degrade ourselves. The link between the health of our oceans and the stability of our civilization is absolute. Join us as we descend deeper into the darkness of the permanent plague and witness the terrifying reality of the toxins we can no longer ignore. If water is the lifeblood of our world, then plastic is the permanent plague, a synthetic footprint that nature cannot absorb and the oceans can no longer hide. Every year, 8 million tons of plastic enter our oceans. This is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a swirling continent of waste 3 times the size of France. Plastic does not biodegrade, it fragments. Through a process of photodegradation, massive debris is broken down into billions of microenemies, smaller than a grain of sand. These microplastics are now an integral part of the marine environment, outnumbering the stars in our galaxy and infiltrating the very foundation of the aquatic food web. For the smallest organisms, these particles are indistinguishable from food. From the base of the food chain, the poison begins its upward climb. Driven by planetary wind patterns, 5 massive ocean gyres act as high-speed conveyor belts, trapping plastic in a perpetual cycle of circulation and decay. But what we see on the surface is only the beginning. Millions of tons of plastic eventually sink, creating a synthetic layer on the seafloor that will last for thousands of years. For the titans of the sea and the masters of the air, the plague is lethal. Entanglement and starvation are the prices paid for a material designed for a few minutes of use. As the circle completes, the plague reaches our own shores. Microplastics have now been found in the very seafood that sustains our civilization. Join us as we explore the chemical shadows of our industrial runoff and uncover the unseen toxins poisoning our urban arteries. As we leave the visible debris of the surface, we descend into the shadows. Here, the crisis is invisible, carried through the very veins of our civilization. Our cities are massive drainage systems. Every rainfall washes a cocktail of urban grime, tire particles, and oil into the urban arteries that feed our rivers. But the most lethal shadows are the heavy metals, lead, mercury, and cadmium, remnants of our industrial past that never truly disappear. Mercury is a biological time bomb. Through biomagnification, it concentrates as it moves up the food chain, reaching toxic levels in the apex predators of our world. Then there are the forever chemicals, PFS. Engineered to be indestructible, these synthetic bonds resist every natural process of decay, persisting in our water for centuries. Every year, thousands of new synthetic compounds are released into the flow. A chemical experiment on a planetary scale with no control group and no reset button. Our natural filters are failing. Wetlands, designed over eons to purify the flow, are collapsing under the sheer volume of our chemical legacy. From hormonal disruptions to reproductive failure, the biological toll is absolute. The chemistry of life is being rewritten by the shadows of our progress. We drink the shadows we create. The invisible connection between the effluent of our factories and the health of our own blood is a circle we cannot break. Join us as we explore the lethal impact of ghost nets in the deep and witness the silent warfare of abandoned shadows in our oceans. In the silent depths of our oceans, a new kind of predator has emerged, one that never sleeps, never eats, and never stops hunting. These are the ghosts of the deep. Abandoned, lost, or discarded fishing gear, known as ghost gear, is the most lethal form of marine debris, waging a silent warfare against ocean life for centuries. Every year, over 640,000 tons of fishing gear are lost at sea. These synthetic webs can span kilometers, creating invisible traps in the open ocean. Entanglement is a slow death sentence. From the smallest fish to the titans of the deep, no creature is safe from the indiscriminate reach of the ghost net. The destruction is mechanical and relentless. As heavy synthetic fibers snag on delicate structures, they act as abrasive saws, eroding centuries of coral growth in a single season of drift. But the damage goes beyond the physical. These nets create an artificial canopy that blocks vital solar energy, effectively suffocating the vibrant gardens that serve as the ocean's nurseries. The impact is physical and mechanical. Weighted by lead and trapped by the currents, ghost gear scours the sea floor, destroying the delicate architecture of the deep. As they weather, these nets become a major source of microplastics. The cycle of pollution continues, as the large becomes the small, infiltrating the entire food chain. A single lost net can continue to kill for decades. This ghost fishing is a self-perpetuating cycle of waste that depletes our ocean's resilience from within. From the tropics to the poles, the scourge is universal, a testament to a global industry that has outpaced our ability to manage its synthetic legacy. Join us as we analyze the agricultural toll of our progress and uncover the deadly reality of the dead zones expanding across our planet. As we trace the veins of our civilization, we find a paradox. The very industry that feeds us is silently starving our waters of life. This is the agricultural toll. Industrial farming relies on a massive influx of nitrogen and phosphorus, but the soil can only absorb so much. With every rainfall, the excess is leached away, beginning a lethal journey to the sea. Through a process of chemical leaching, these nutrients bypass natural filters and enter our waterways in concentrations that ecosystems were never designed to handle. The result is eutrophication, an explosion of life that leads to a cascade of death. Fueled by runoff, toxic algae blooms expand with terrifying speed, coating the surface in a suffocating green shroud. As the algae dies and sinks, its decomposition consumes the water's dissolved oxygen. This creates hypoxia, a state of low oxygen where the very air of the ocean is stripped away. Welcome to the dead zone. In the Gulf of Mexico alone, these hypoxic regions can cover over 15,000 square kilometers, vast underwater deserts where nothing can survive. Mobile species can flee, but those anchored to the seafloor are trapped. The biological collapse is absolute, erasing entire generations of marine life in a single season of runoff. This is not just an oceanic crisis. Our inland lakes and river basins, the primary sources of our drinking water, are facing the same synthetic siege from the soil. The feedback loops are accelerating. As our climate warms, the conditions for toxic blooms and dead zones become permanent, creating a planetary landscape of stagnant shadows. Join us for our final chapter, as we explore the innovative solutions and the powerful movements working to restore the flow and heal our blue heart. As we stand at the edge of the crisis, we also stand at the threshold of a revolution. The same ingenuity that led to the plague is now our greatest tool for restoration. We are moving from a legacy of waste to an era of reclamation. Wastewater reclamation is the front line. Modern facilities are no longer mere disposal sites. They are biological and mechanical factories, turning the effluent of our cities back into the pure lifeblood of our world through a multi-stage process of engineering brilliance. Ultraviolet sterilization provides the final guard. By exposing water to intense UV radiation, we neutralize pathogens at the DNA level. ensuring that the flow is not just clear, but biologically safe for the ecosystems it sustains. At the heart of this process lies the membrane, a synthetic marvel of nanotechnology. These semi-permeable barriers are capable of filtering out heavy metals and forever chemicals at the molecular level, reversing the chemical shadows we once thought permanent. In water-stressed regions, desalination is the ultimate engineering challenge. Reverse osmosis plants now process millions of liters of seawater daily, using immense pressure to push water through membranes, separating the salt from the source of our survival. Nature is also our partner in this revolution. Bioremediation uses the power of fungal networks, mycelium, to break down complex hydrocarbons and industrial pollutants in situ, absorbing toxins into their own structure to purify the soil and the flow. Through phytoremediation, plants act as biological sponges. Specialized species are deployed to absorb excess nitrogen and phosphorus from agricultural runoff, proving that the solution to our pollution often lies in the very life we seek to protect. In the open ocean, the engineering scale is immense. Projects like the Ocean Cleanup are deploying planetary-scale barriers to trap and remove macroplastic debris before it can fragment into the microenemies that threaten our food chain. Interceptors are the gates to the sea. Placed at the mouths of the world's most polluted rivers, these solar-powered titans stop the flow of plastic at the source, preventing millions of tons of waste from ever reaching the open blue. Restoring the flow requires a fundamental transition to a circular economy, a world where synthetic materials are designed for reclamation from the start, where the term waste becomes obsolete, and our industry mimics the closed-loop cycles of nature. International policy is the final architecture. Global treaties are now being drafted to regulate the release of forever chemicals and limit the production of virgin plastics, reflecting a collective decision to value the purity of our most vital resource. We are reclaiming our urban arteries. From Seoul to London, cities are removing the concrete and uncovering the rivers that were once buried in our development, bringing the flow of nature back into the heart of our civilizations. Rewilding is the ultimate act of restoration. By returning the flow to our natural filters, we are rebuilding the resilience of our planet's blue heart, proving that even the most damaged landscapes can be healed through the scale of our planetary ambition. The future of our water is the future of our species. It is a challenge that requires a unified movement, a commitment to protect the ancient, pure cycle that sustains all life. These are the guardians of the water. To heal the water is to heal ourselves, a testament to the weight of survival and the scale of our planet's ambition. This is our story. This is the flow of life, a journey through the titans of nature. As we engineer solutions, a silent clock continues to tick. The chemistry of our oceans is approaching a threshold, a tipping point from which there is no return. The oceans have absorbed 30% of our carbon emissions, fundamentally altering their pH. This is ocean acidification, the silent dissolving of the marine foundation. For the microscopic architects of the sea, like the sea butterfly, the very water they inhabit is becoming corrosive, slowly dissolving their protective shells while they are still alive. In the far north, another shadow awakens. As permafrost thaws, centuries of trapped heavy metals and ancient toxins are being unlocked and flushed into our global currents. In the abyss, the warming waters threaten to destabilize massive deposits of deep-sea methane, a sleeping giant that could accelerate the ecological collapse to terrifying speeds. We are standing on the precipice of a planetary chain reaction, a cascading failure of the systems that have regulated the Earth's blue heart for billions of years. The flow of time is narrowing. The choices we make in this fleeting window will echo through the fossil record. The fate of the Titans rests entirely in our hands. Will we be the architects of a permanent plague or the guardians who restored the flow? The tipping point is now. These are the Titans of nature. Join us as we continue to explore the intricate balance of our world. Thank you for watching.